Hey hockey card fans, Hockey Night in Belmont back. Have another opening from eBay. These are WHA cards, or I think they are. And let's see what we have. Okay, so we got goal leaders for 75-76. Mark Tardif, Nordics, Rio Kluche, Nordics, and Vaclav Nedomansky, Toros, Toronto Toros. These are the 75-76s, come on, 76, 77 set. Tardif was a former Montreal Canadiens draft pick. High draft pick, I think he was number one. Had some decent years with the Montreal, won a Stanley Cup, but I think he was being pushed. Wasn't getting much playing time, and jumped to the Nordics. Rio Kluche, he later ended his career with the Buffalo Sabres, I believe. He'd scored 40 goals in the NHL when he finally got there. Nedomansky, he actually went to the Detroit Red Wings and had a couple of O-PEE-CHEE years. But Tardif had 71 goals, Kluche 60, Nedomansky 56, Bobby Hall 53, Regine Houle 51, on Montreal Canadian, Anders Hedberg 50, Mark Napier 43, Rick Dudley 43, and then Danny Lawson 44. I never heard of him. So, interesting names. You got the Nordics, you got the Toros, the Jets, Phoenix Roadrunners, Calgary Cowboys, Cincinnati Stingers. So quite cool there. Then we have important point leaders: Mark Tardif, Bobby Hall, and Ulf Nilsson. Ulf Nilsson and Anders Hedberg would later go on to the New York Rangers, playing one Stanley Cup final with them in '79. So Tardif had 105 points. So this guy had 71 goals, but only like 34 assists to go with it. Bobby Hall had 91, Ulf Nilsson 84, Rio Kluche 83. He scored 60 goals but only had 23 assists. Anders Hedberg had 80 assists. Lawson had 78, Nedomansky had 78, Bordelot had 78, Gordie Howe had 75 assists with the Houston Aeros. Quite a few teams that year. Then we got the U.S. Finals. There were two divisions in '76. There was the Canadian division and the U.S. division. The Canadian division had obviously the Jets, the Nordiques, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Calgary Cowboys, as well as some other teams, the Toronto Toros. And the U.S. had Houston, New England, which were the Whalers, Cincinnati Stingers, Phoenix Roadrunners. Houston beat them in 7 games. Quite a good series. Of course, you had Gordie and his two sons, Mark and Marty, playing for Houston. So it was actually a good series. Then I have Paul Henderson, played with the Toronto Toros. Everyone knows Henderson from scoring Canada's game-winning goal during the '72 Summit Series. He had 26 goals, 29 assists for 55 points in 65 games. Alright, next up, I have these ones are from 76-77. So this is a 77 set. Of course, my furnace and my water heater are on. The air conditioner is. So anyway, we got Richard Braudier, Quebec Nordiques. He played in the WHA before jumping back to the NHL, and he was the Islanders organization, but they traded him to Vancouver, where he actually went to a Stanley Cup final where he met the Islanders and they got beat badly. And we got Marty Howe, defense. So he's now with the New England Whalers. This is when the Houston Aeros were about to fold, and the Howes all went up to New England instead. Houston Aeros were actually really popular, had really good attendance, but the NHL wasn't going to take them. Mainly because Atlanta was already faltering, and they didn't need another southern market. So the southern expansion wasn't doing all that great. Ulf Nilsson, center for the Jets. Excellent hockey player. Had some pretty good years in the NHL. J.C. Tremblay, defense for the Nordiques. Stanley Cup winner with the Montreal Canadiens. When his career was winding down, he went and played in the W. Never came back to the NHL. So there we go, 8 cards, 4 from different years. And I love looking at the old WHA cards. The old names of the franchises and the jerseys are kind of cool. I think the NHL should have moved back to Houston. Become the Houston Aeros and the Birmingham Bulls. Would have been great. Birmingham Bulls used to be the Toronto Toros, and they moved to Birmingham. So that could have been a new Southern Division with Florida and Tampa. And it would have helped Atlanta out a lot to have a natural rivalry, and Dallas too. Of course, I'd like to see the Nordics come back, and it'd be nice to have the Whalers back. But you know, there's too many teams in the NHL as it is, so it's pretty saturated. But there's other places they could have went instead of Vegas. Anyway, any hockey card enthusiasts out there, let me know if you guys have any WHA cards, because this is definitely a unique time in hockey history. Until next time, this has been Hockey Night in Belmont. I'm out of here.